Hi, my name is Lisa Linloff, and welcome to the orientation video for your math class. This particular video is for Math 1314, Section 91. You are seeing a screen in Brightspace right now. This particular button is your home button, which takes you back to all of your Brightspace classes. And you're seeing many classes which are mine, but I'm going to go back into this class, even though I am making this video prior to the course being available. All right, so here we are. And the first thing I want to do is, I've already talked to you about the home button that takes you back to all of your Brightspace classes, but I want to talk to you about these links. This is called the nav bar, and it can be customized and it will not look identical in all of your Brightspace classes. In this class, I'm going to go over each one of them and then talk about all the other items that are in this course in Brightspace. There's announcements, My Math Lab, homework and tests. My Math Lab is the software that houses all of the items you need for this course. My Math Lab grade book, assessments, and the only thing that you will use out of this assessments is attendance. At the very end of the semester, I will post the course grades in here, but all of your regular grades will be in this particular setting. Content, we probably won't do much with, although I'll show you in a minute. Class list shows you everybody in the class, and here is Brightspace support. This particular class is what is referred to sometimes as an IA course. It has inclusive access. That means that when you registered for this class at MCC, your fee for My Math Lab, which has your textbook and all of your support, including the homework assignments, the tests, and so on, it was all paid for at the time you registered for the class. It was part of your fees. So you now owe nothing more, except maybe a calculator, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right, so many of the things I'm going to talk about are in this announcement, including a link to watch this video, and you should have already pressed it if you're watching the video. So announcements. Each and every week I will update this, giving you a new announcement. The old ones will still be viewable. I will also email this information to you on a weekly basis, and it will go to your college, your McLennan student email. So please get in a habit of checking your McLennan student email. Now, the second item in this list is MML, which is an acronym for My Math Lab, homework and tests. So I'm going to click on it and we're going to jump to a new environment. All right, here are the homework and tests for this entire 2 courses because you're in a linked setting. You're taking Math 0311 and 1314. But to save you some money, I put it all in one. All right, you can see lesson names. If they have this circle, that means they are homework assignments. If they have the diamond, that means it's a test. This is your due dates. Then, and I need to fix that due date. All right, and then we go on and another test, and we go on and another test. Each one of these little flags indicates that you have to do the homework prior to it, pass with a 70 before you can take the test, and you will have 2 hours and 2 tries at the test. And the test will be open note. So take good notes, keep anything you write down when you're working on homework, and have those available to support you when you take the test. Now, to go back up here at the tabs, I will go back to my home page. All right, it's brought me back to the very beginning. That was homework and tests. The My Math Lab gradebook, because as I mentioned earlier, I will keep your grades in here, not the gradebook for Brightspace. They will be in here. As you do assignments, your grades will show up in here automatically and immediately. All right, once again, I will go back to my home page. These tabs are still up here, but I don't need them. I could close them if I wanted to. So announcements, homework and tests, this is where you go to do your homework or take a test. Gradebook. Now assessments, you will not do these assignments. I will only keep your attendance here. So in here, your attendance, and I will talk about that more. I log in your attendance on a weekly basis. I do it on Sundays because your attendance is from the previous Sunday morning till Saturday night. Okay, so if you log in, submit either something in homework or something in tests, just submit anything, then you were present for the week. If you've done nothing that week, you're absent for the week. And I talk about that down here. What is a week? I have the dates of the week. It starts, now this one starts on 6/1, which is a Monday, but it typically starts Sunday morning to Saturday at midnight. That's a week in my class. These grades, any of the rest of this you will not use till the very end of the course. The very end, I will post your final grade for the course in your grades here. I will take them from the My Math Lab gradebook. The rest of these I'm not going to reference right now. Content is duplicated right down here, so you don't have to do this content. All right, let's take a look a little closer at the calendar. Week 1 is from June 1st to June 6th. What should you do? You should do IA1, which stands for Intermediate 1, Intermediate Algebra 2, the quiz over those, IA3, and IA4. So in this week, you will have 4 homework assignments and a quiz. I recommend that you do these in chronological order. Do this one, study and take the quiz, this one, and you will get 2 tries at every quiz. All right, moving on. The calendar will stay up here all semester. The only due dates, although this is what I want you to follow, you will really still get your credits if you complete everything for the 0311, which is intermediate algebra, by 6/27 at 11:59 p.m. and everything for the college algebra by August the 11th at 11:59 p.m. And as you saw, maybe you noticed in the video, I had one due date for an intermediate assignment with the 8/11. I'll fix that. All right, so everything here in black is intermediate. Everything here in red is college algebra. All right, the next thing that I want to talk to you about is this box, which says My Math Lab links. The first one is getting started. In getting started, you've got instructor contact information. Click this and you will have my email address, my office, my phone number, and so on. Click this and you will have the printable syllabus. Inside the syllabus, I believe it's page 6, you will have the ability to print this calendar. In this course, you will sometimes need, and I will refer to using the TI 83, 84 calculator. If you have one, great. If not, there are smartphone apps that are either cheap or free, and those are discussed on the page that is coming up. There it is. So if you have an Android phone and if you have an iPhone, okay, those are the ones I'll be using an iPhone. I'll be using an emulator for this TI-84. Now, to get back where we were, I recommend, if you're not very familiar, that you go straight back to this name of the course. There are other ways back, but that's the way I'm going to go back in my video. All right, we're back. Next, handouts. This will take you to a link for a packet which is printable, and it is rather long. So you can just look at it or you can print it. But like I said, it is very long. It is 25 pages long. In it are all kinds of things that can be helpful to you. Some of them are how to use a calculator to do things. Some of them are just highlights that I talk about in my notes and in my videos. So that is the handouts. If you were in a face-to-face class, I would be giving you a copy of that. Okay, so once again, I'm going to click on the name of the course to go back. All right. Now, a very important link is, instead of calling it My Math Lab, they've kind of changed it up and they call it My Lab Math. When I click on it, I have 4 items. I have problem sets to print, lecture notes, lecture videos, and the Pearson e-text for your class. So I'm going to talk first about these 3 and how I think those work together to make this environment very friendly and very similar to going to class. Now, it may seem like there could be more efficient ways to do this, and there may be, but every time I want to get out of wherever I am, I'm going back to the name. All right, problem sets to print. What is this? This has a list of everything for the intermediate, then chapters 1, 2, 3, so a little extra of 3, and 4 for college algebra. By problem sets to print, these, if I click on that, these are the problem sets that I'm going to use as my example problems in the class. So if I click on one, let me just show you what it looks like. It goes back, opens it. This is just blank problems. Some students find this very helpful. Other students do not use it at all. This one is a long one. It is 5 pages. You can download it and print it. Some students make themselves a notebook. This is like the problems in a textbook. Okay, problem sets to print. Okay, going back. There's one of those for each one of the lessons. Some of the lessons are longer, some of the lessons are shorter. My Lab Math. After problem set to print, or maybe instead of problem set to print, we can go to lecture notes. Some students would prefer to have these. Let me pick the same one, IA1, Intermediate Algebra 1. This is for the very first lesson. This starts out, whoops, hang on 1 minute, let me fix something. All right, I've chosen a different one. I've got a few things to update. I just picked an IA7, whereas before I had picked IA1. So this is the 7th lesson. This is lecture notes. I may or may not have some printed text that would be useful. But what I have here are the solutions for me doing all of that work that was in the original problem set. So in other words, this is what you would have in your notebook if you stayed in class and took notes. This is all of the problems worked out. All right, so back to this. So let me summarize again. This is my lab math. Problem sets give you the blank problems that I'm going to use in my lecture. The lecture notes give you the actual notes. Those are the worked out problems. Then there's video lectures. These are playlists, and they will take you off to YouTube when you click on one of them for the playlist. Let me let it go. All right, here it goes to YouTube. And here is IA1, IA2, IA3. So there are all of those videos. You can follow along with the lecture notes. You can take notes using the problem sets to print. Because this took us off to YouTube, I will go back to this button and then click on the name of the course again. There are other ways around, I do understand, but I think that's very helpful. If you're unsure, go back to the name of the course. The last thing that I want to mention here is your e-text. When you paid your fee for this inclusive access, not only did you get the My Math Lab homework and so on, but you get access to the e-textbook for your course. All right, be patient. It may take a while for this to load. You can advance through it by clicking here, and you may want to actually see what the author has to say about a particular section, and so you can actually go into the textbook. All right, back to when you leave, you have to go back to your Brightspace, and there we go, back to the name. All right, maybe a few things that I need to talk about that are in the syllabus. When you are working in the intermediate part, which should be in the first 4 weeks of the 11-week summer session, you have quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, and quiz 4. You're supposed to have that all done by the 27th of June. And to get credit for 0311, you have to pass those 4 quizzes. If you make 70, you earn credit. If you make 100, you earn credit. So I would say that probably the only reason you would need to retake one of these is if you don't pass. If you don't pass in 2 attempts, you need to communicate with me about that. Let me see if there's something I can suggest and possibly give you another opportunity. When you move into the college algebra, lesson 1.5, it really has 4 lessons, a test over that, 2.1 to 2.4. These are in the college algebra textbook. When you do those and when you take those tests, now the actual grade is going to get averaged. It's no longer credit, no credit. This is 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, and so on. The course ends completely on August the 11th at 11:59. What happens if you don't have all of this completed the first week? Well, there is not a grade penalty, but you will find yourself so far behind if you don't keep up that it will be very difficult to meet this deadline and this deadline. So please try to use those. And remember that attendance is different. Attendance, I check to see that you did something during the week. If you work ahead, you still need to do something each week. If you finish early, which you are welcome to do, if you want to do 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week, that's great. Still, you need to do something every week till you finish the course. And at that point, I'll make a note of it and you no longer have to make submissions. So I hope this helps. And I am just an email away. My contact information is here. Announcements, homework and tests to go do your work. Before you do, for instance, IA3, you would want to maybe get the problem set for IA3, print them, they're blank, they're ready for you to take notes, or print the lecture notes for IA3, watch the video for IA3, then go do the homework. You can always check your status by going to Gradebook and looking at your overall score. Under assessments, the only thing you'll find till the very, very end is the attendance register. And like I said, I don't think you're going to necessarily need those. Just, I am an email away if you need me, and if you need a Zoom meeting with me, email me and we'll make arrangements. All right, I hope this was helpful. You have a great adventure in these 2 courses in the next 11 weeks.